Sweaty Cup, Crew Marcus here again with another piece of kit review. For your gym, home gym or professional gym, we are going to be reviewing this is a 4+ year review on the AQUA training bag. This is one of their round ones. This is their 21-inch bag. It's spec'd out at 190 pounds when fully filled. I probably have somewhere between, I don't know, 170 to 180 pounds in this actually. So when these bags are being hung, when you fill it with water, sometimes the water level gets to this fill spout and it starts spraying out and starts making a mess. So sometimes it is better to get these on the floor, use a pulley system, or several people to lift it to the hanging position. But it's just me hanging these, so I did it by myself. How satisfied am I with these bags? I am exceptionally satisfied with these. These bags have lasted so well. They show almost no signs of wear and tear. The only marks you have on these are basically just from the gloves hitting the bag or people skipping them off here. There is essentially no gashes or anything in the rubber. They do fill very, very easily. When you buy these, they have a fill spout that you put on the end of your hose. This little cap comes out, it just screws out with a screwdriver. You pull it out, insert your nozzle, fill it until your appropriate filled amount that you want to fill it to, and then you just close it back up and it's ready to go. So easy, super easy to fill these. You just need a hose. They're very well weighted. So 180 pound, this is like it's about 180 pound bag. 180 pounds is quite a bit. Okay, if you've ever hit a 180 pound bag, you know that is quite a stout bag. So you get really good shoulder work when you hit these. The other thing is, if you're a very heavy hitter, the impact, because these give, because it's water, is much easier on the joints. Okay, to get a lot of density in a bag, i.e. weight in a bag, you usually have to fill it with sand and other hard medium. Another hard type medium to get the bag the weight that you want, which means that it's going to be hard. That is great for bone toughness. However, it does add a lot of wear and tear into the joints, okay? Especially if you're training for a long period of time. If you're a beginner, sometimes your body has not fully developed the endurance and the toughness to hit a heavy bag, heavy hard bag for a long period of time. So these are actually great to introduce people to striking with a very low probability of injury. I find that super, super important. The other thing on this is it gives you a very realistic feel on what it's like to hit a person, okay? So a really hard, dense bag, it's gonna feel hard. It's gonna feel like you're hitting a wall sometimes, depending on the way you hit it. These, because they give, and the human body will give, it gives a more realistic feel to actually landing a strike. So your brain has to learn less through sparring. What does it feel like to land a really solid strike? Because if you've been around and you've trained enough, you know a really solid strike feels like you hit air. It almost feels like you missed because the body just crumbles when you land a really solid shot. So when you hit this, that's essentially the feel that you get. Now, there is always a sweet spot to the bag, and that's going to basically be on how high you can hang this bag. I have this pretty much, chin level based on my height. I'm 5'10". So the sweet spot on this bag is generally the middle of the line, as long as you have this hung appropriately. This bag does move when you hit it, and it moves very well. So you actually need to get out of the way, because if you let this hit you, it will knock you around because it has enough weight to it. So from the first bag for AQUA bag, this is an exceptional bag. Well worth the money. Yes, the bags are above $200. I don't know if I paid that when I bought these 4 or 5 years ago, but I have not regretted the purchase on these. I have 2 of these in my gym. It's basically a symmetrical bag setup. I have 1 of these. a banana bag, a teardrop bag, a banana bag, and then a torso bag, which is what we're gonna review next, that is also an AQUA bag. So then it just mirrors on the way across the gym. So I have 10 total bags. 4 of them are AQUA bags. So let's go over to the torso bag next. Okay, here we are into our torso bag from AQUA bag. Again, torso structure, no arms, no real face, but you get a really nice body curvature for the ribs, wideness for the shoulder, back into the neck. I believe these bags are approximately 150 pounds when they're fully filled. Like I said, it's hard to get them fully filled, this top part, because that's where the fill hole is. You'll get it here and you'll start getting water coming back out of it because the pressure kind of squeezes it. So it's hard to get them fully filled unless you fill them on the ground. I didn't fill these on the ground. I hung them because I didn't have anybody to lift these bags. 150 pounds of dead weight, especially water weight. I'm not lifting it that high. Sorry, just not that strong. These bags are fantastic. I really like these bags. So from a Muay Thai perspective, these bags are phenomenal, especially if you want to practice clinching on a bag because you don't have a partner. So when I have these, I can't get fully around. It's a little bit too big because then I got to kind of get into this type of clinching. It's not the type of clinching that I want. So what I do is I just kind of hook these little ridges right here. Then I can steer with my elbows and I can get a good solid knee into these. These bags are great to punch to the body if you're working body shots for your punches. What I will say is they do spin quite a bit, but I don't necessarily call that a problem. If you get a nice square hit, they will swing straight. If they start to spin, opportunity to practice your footwork. But the good thing about the spinning is when I'm clinching, I can do my turns. So I can get good practice with my footwork with some weight on these, because when I lean into it, it's gonna kind of swing back into me, so I do get some positive return pressure against the bag. Sometimes that is very difficult to get that type of resistance out of like a banana bag or even a teardrop bag because I can't get my elbows into it appropriately. I can't drive into the bag. So from a punching perspective and a clinching perspective, fantastic. Knees, fantastic. Even elbows. What I'll say is hitting up here, because these are bent, that kind of hurts, especially if the rubber is colder. So if you're in a colder room, the rubber will get hard. It's going to bruise more. If that's your cup of tea, go for it. For me, it's not too bad. It's really hot in here. I keep the gym about 90 to 100 degrees, so it's fine. It's better to get into this neck area, just kind of like Thai sparring. You can also elbow into the body without any issue. What I will say though, kicking this bag sucks. Feels like kicking a tire. So you have the surface tension of water that still applies to this. So if you've ever belly smacked on the water, now apply that to a kick that has rubber in front of it. It just feels like kicking a tire. So I don't recommend kicking these bags personally. If you want to kick them, go right ahead, but just telling you, it's going to suck, especially on your foot. So the shin isn't terrible, but man, does that foot slap really suck. So overall, these bags are fantastic. If I were to pick between the two, which bag would I pick if I could only buy one? For me, as a Muay Thai practitioner and a self-defense combatives practitioner, I would buy this. I can do more with it within my style. Now, if I'm a boxer or just looking for something to punch, go with the round one. It's going to move more naturally for a punching perspective. It's going to allow enough footwork and it's going to allow enough weight, and it's the appropriate size. So really it depends, what are you using the bag for? Could I do that with this one? Absolutely I could. Okay, so I'm not saying that this is worse at punching than that one, but I'm saying that from a natural hanging perspective, just working your baseline combinations, that one's going to feel more natural than this because this moves way more than that one will. So pick your poison on what you want. In my opinion, the $200+ investment that you would make for these, well worth it, especially because to fill a bag is the biggest pain in the ass about filling bags. You just need a garden hose. That in and of itself is worth the money. So that's the AQUA bag review. 4+ years, still going strong. I'm going to keep these as long as they still hold water. Train hard.